Training camp is right around the corner, and something about the Dallas Cowboys just feels different this year. We've only seen glimpses during OTAs and mandatory minicamp, but the shift is obvious. The energy, the urgency, it's real. This isn't the same old Cowboys team. There's a new fire under this roster, and a big part of that is the changing culture under offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer. Dak Prescott, he's evolving. Every rep, every throw. He looks sharper. Sure, he admitted they're still working through the developmental phase, and that's expected with a new system in place. But let's be clear, there's competition now. Joe Milton, the rookie with a cannon for an arm, is waiting in the wings. That alone is going to keep the pressure high and the intensity even higher. But this video isn't just about Dak. This is about the players, especially the underdogs, who are quietly building a case to not only make the final roster, but to make an impact immediately. Let's talk about three players who are turning heads and rising fast up the depth chart. Some are undrafted, some are familiar faces, but all of them are forcing the coaching staff to pay attention. Before we jump in, drop a comment with your prediction. Who's the sleeper on this Cowboys roster that could break out in 2025? Now let's get into it. First up, defensive tackle Toya, the 7th-round pick out of UCLA. Don't let the draft slot fool you. This guy is making noise. He's been one of the standouts through rookie camp, OTAs, and into minicamp. Coaches have been vocal about his presence on the line, and it's easy to see why. At 6 feet 2 inches and 342 pounds, he's a true force in the middle. More of a traditional nose tackle than a gap-shooting defensive lineman. And that's exactly what this defense has been lacking in recent years. A space eater who can anchor the line and let the linebackers fly. Toya might be new, but his impact is already undeniable. The Cowboys already have Mazi Smith, the former first-round pick, anchoring the middle. But let's be honest, one dominant body isn't enough. You need depth. You need a rotation that can hold the line for 4 quarters. And right now, Toya is positioning himself as the next man up. According to the early depth chart, Toya is already slotted as the number 2 nose tackle. And that's no small feat for a rookie taken in the 7th round. What stands out on tape? It's his raw strength, his natural aggression. You can feel it when you watch him. He brings a toughness this team has been begging for in the trenches. Toya doesn't just absorb contact, he welcomes it. He holds firm against double teams, with a wide base and tree trunk legs that power through the line. And when it's time to shed blocks and make a move, he's got violent, nasty hands. Slaps, clubs, anything to get separation and create pressure. He's not just hanging around in camp. He's pushing for playing time. Already, even Sports Illustrated took notice. In a recent piece, they said it outright. It's rare for a 7th-round pick to flirt with starting reps as a rookie, but Toya is doing exactly that. Yes, it's early. Yes, we need to keep perspective. There are no pads yet, no full-speed contact. These are walkthroughs and controlled reps. The real test comes when training camp starts, and the pads come on. That's when we find out who's built for Sunday battles. But what we do know right now is this. Toya is ahead of schedule. He's already taken reps with the first team during OTAs, and that means something, especially in a system that doesn't hand out opportunities. Dallas still hopes Mazi Smith can take the leap they drafted him for. But if he stumbles, there's a 342-pound bulldozer named Toya, ready to crash through the door and steal that job. And that's what the Cowboys need. Real competition at every level. Training camp is going to tell us a lot, especially about that nose tackle battle. Toya versus Mazi Smith, that's a heavyweight clash brewing right in the middle of this defense. And from day one, you can bet that's going to be one of the biggest storylines at camp. Can Toya actually overtake Mazi Smith and become the starter? That's no longer a wild question. It's a very real possibility. But let's shift focus. Because there's another defender quietly making waves, and this one wasn't even drafted. Enter Justin Barron. Originally a safety, Barron went undrafted out of Syracuse. Now, he's transitioning to linebacker, and he's turning heads fast. While all eyes are on the big-name additions at linebacker, Kenneth Murray, Jack Sanborn, Shamar James, Barron is carving out his own lane. He's physical, he's fast, and he's smart enough to make a position switch and still earn praise from the coaching staff during off-season workouts. He might not be fighting for a starting job just yet, but make no mistake, the coaches are watching. And if he keeps this pace, snaps during the regular season are in play. Training camp and preseason will be his proving ground. Every snap counts, every read, every tackle. If he delivers in pads the way he's delivering in shorts, this kid has a real shot to make the 53-man roster and possibly see meaningful action as the year unfolds. Even Sports Illustrated took note. In a recent piece, they highlighted how Justin Barron's shift from safety to linebacker was one of the more surprising and promising developments in Cowboys camp. That kind of attention doesn't come from nowhere. So while the spotlight may shine brightest on the stars, it's these gritty, overlooked players like Barron and Toya who could end up defining this season. Because in the NFL, the difference between being just another team and being something special is often found in the fire of those fighting for their first chance. Justin Barron isn't just making noise. He's proving he belongs. He's looked natural at linebacker, even though it's not his original position. The instincts are there, the awareness, the size, and most importantly, the confidence. Barron isn't just adjusting, he's thriving. Now, some might say the Cowboys aren't deep at linebacker, but that's up for debate. There are names here. Kenneth Murray, who's flashed in camp. Jack Sanborn, a tackling machine. DeMarvion Overshone, though still rehabbing, brings real potential. Devin Harper, Malik Jefferson, Shamar James, these aren't placeholders. They're competitors. Still, Barron is forcing his name into that conversation. His coverage ability and speed give him a real edge. In today's NFL, linebackers have to cover space, match tight ends, track down backs in the flat. And Barron, he's already showing he can do that. He may not step in as a starter on day one, but he's absolutely in the mix for a role on special teams. And that's often how NFL success stories begin. From undrafted to special teams, to defensive rotation, to impact. And this coaching staff knows it. You don't find players with this kind of athleticism and mental sharpness every day, especially outside the draft. The Cowboys may have just stolen one in Justin Barron, but we're not done yet. Last on the list, Kaiir Elam. Yes, he was a former first-round pick. Yes, his career in Buffalo didn't go as planned, but let's be real. Sometimes all a player needs is a fresh start, and Dallas might be the perfect place for Elam to rewrite his story. There's something to be said about a change in environment, a new system, and a chance to prove everyone wrong. Elam comes in with something to prove, and that's dangerous in the best way possible. He's got the pedigree. He's got the tools. Now he's got a chip on his shoulder. If he locks in, this secondary could be even scarier than we thought. Kaiir Elam is showing real signs of life in Dallas. He's looked athletic, sharp, and far more instinctive than he did during a disappointing season last year. The coverage skills, much improved. The confidence, clearly rising. And the Cowboys coaching staff is taking notice. They're not just hopeful, they're excited. But Elam isn't the only defensive back making waves. Sheldrick Redwine, Kalen Barnes, and Savion Redwell are also stepping up. Even Juanye Thomas, a name many fans might overlook, has been one of the surprise breakout performers this offseason. And yes, all eyes are still on Trevon Diggs as he works his way back from injury. But when you zoom out and look at the full picture, Darren Bland, Kalen Barnes, Kaiir Elam, Savion Redwell, suddenly this secondary doesn't look like a weakness. It looks like a strength. Throw in Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson at safety, two guys the team trusts, and you've got a back end loaded with potential and upside. Even Israel Mukwamu has been generating buzz in camp. Quietly, this Cowboys secondary is stacking talent, chemistry, and depth. So when we look back at this offseason's biggest defensive risers, it's clear. Toya is pushing for a starting job on the defensive line. Justin Barron is earning every rep and could go from UDFA to 53-man contributor. Kaiir Elam is showing why he was a first-round pick and may still become a star in the right system. This Cowboys defense is building something. The competition is real. The fire is growing. And if these young players keep rising, Dallas may not just surprise people, they may dominate.